Hey guys, hope you're enjoying the Tim Gray Talk Show. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more special guests, more content, more videos. We'll see you soon.
Life's too short, I'm on the run, but to my eyes you are the sunshine, sunshine, sunshine.
Welcome back to another episode of the Tim Gray Talk Show. You know, everybody has that dream to get married, have kids, buy your first house, live happily ever after. Well, not this next guest. This next guest, along with his wife, instead of buying the traditional house, bought an adult bookstore, renovated it into what is known now as a unique interactive art gallery known as Muse GR. This next guest also won the time-based award for his entry art pod in the 2021 Art Prize. Making his way from San Francisco, California, Steve also is a community advocate to counsel and shape the world's next generation of leaders. We're going to unravel, get all into this in this next episode, ladies and gentlemen. Let's welcome to the set, Steven Smith. Hey, thanks for coming on, man.
That was a cool intro.
Yeah, man, for sure.
I never had an intro like that before.
You like that intro?
That was dope. I'm like, how did you find out all that information?
Like I said, I did my research, man. So I want to kind of start this episode off by kind of reverting back to your childhood. Now,
Okay.
you grew up in San Francisco, correct?
Yep. San Francisco. I traveled all throughout the Bay Area. My dad lived in Richmond, California. So that's kind of where I did a lot in Richmond, did a lot in San Francisco. But yeah.
Okay. Can you kind of go into, because I know you have a passion for the youth.
Mm-hmm.
Can you kind of describe how your childhood shaped that passion that you currently have today?
Okay. That's kind of deep. So the reason I work with youth is basically because like a lot of the initiatives are for like inner city youth, people that like kind of might be in trouble. I wasn't a kid that was in trouble, but in education we got this term called bubble kids.
What's Bubble Kids?
So imagine there was a balloon or a bubble on a fence, and then you got success on this side and you got failure on this side. I don't want to say failure. Success on this side and you got mediocrity on this side.
Right.
And you got a bubble and it's like floating. So you can have like a mentor that could push you towards the successful side. Or it's like that's a bubble kid. So me and my friends, we was all pretty good kids, but the Bay Area is just, it's a different place. It's a whole different environment. Violence is glamorized. The term pimping, like right now how everybody say pushing P.
Yep.
Like pushing P is really fun. Like not pushing P, but we say P,
Right.
and that's from the Bay Area. Like pimping is like super heavy there.
So, I mean, at what age, if you're a young man or a young child growing up, at what age do you kind of get into that lifestyle?
So I do not like this at all.
Yep.
But elementary, middle school is like you know how like here you might locker room talk with the guys
Sure.
might be about locker room talk, but their like locker room talk is more like, oh, I did this to such and such, or I robbed so and so, and it's like they're lying like the same
Yep.
way people used to lie about women that they was with in middle school.
Right.
But it's like they're lying about like it's glamorized to do like violence.
So it's kind of like a badge to talk about
Yeah.
all and brag about all these things.
Yeah. So they brag about these things or they act super tough. And I call it pseudo tough. But I mean, they really do end up living it out. So it's not really pseudo, it's not really fake. And so through my childhood, I was really into sports. It kept me out of trouble.
Sure.
I didn't really get into a lot of trouble, although probably did a lot of bad things. But
As most young people.
yeah. So me and my friends, we were into a lot of stuff and seeing a lot of murder, a lot of violence. It caused me to help transition kids into a more positive like road. So I try to push people towards their purpose and their passion.
And then that actually brings up the next topic I kind of want to get into, because last year you launched an anti-violence initiative here.
Yeah.
for the youth in Grand Rapids. Can you kind of explain what is this initiative all about?
Yeah, I'm excited about that. That's
Right.
So we did it. We had a group called the Collective.
Okay.
So the city of Grand Rapids had like an initiative that they were doing against violence, and you were to pitch an idea that you had. And my whole life I always did music, so I always had a
You're a rapper, right? Just for those who don't know, you rap, right?
for hobby, for
Yeah,
fun. I don't do
okay.
it a lot these days. But
Yeah.
yeah, but I do develop rappers and singers and all that. So we wanted to put a studio in Muse, and we wanted to focus on this core group of like kids, like we said, the inner city kids. We wanted to give them an outlet and a space for them to be able to express themselves musically.
Sure.
So we create this initiative that was based on music, and we wanted to give them an experience like the band, or like, do you remember that show with Chance the Rapper?
Yes.
It was I can't remember. What
I don't know the name, but I think I know what you're
yeah.
talking about.
So I was watching that, and I got the idea to do it just a little different. So we had them come out, audition, and then we walked through them through like an artist development camp. And then once they were the proverbial ready stage,
Right.
we started to put them out into the world. And I think we opened with like a rooftop concert.
Now, where was that rooftop concert at?
It was on top of a building downtown.
I think I saw
It was a
clips of the
hotel.
video.
I can't remember what the hotel is.
Yep.
But it was at the roof. We partnered with Myrick
Okay.
to produce it, so it was live streamed. That was dope. But
Yep.
then we started getting hired for other performances. We even opened for like Rakim.
Oh.
So like some people say he's the best rapper that ever done it.
I don't know about that, but
I'm just saying
yeah.
some people say it. I don't.
Right.
I mean, I'm not a true hip hop head.
Yeah.
So I'm more of a Tupac rap type of thing versus hip hop. But
90s.
I've grown to appreciate hip hop way more in my later years. Because, I was from the West Coast, and we had that whole East versus West terrible thing that was happening. But yeah, so we walked with the kids. We still walk with them. This week, Timbaland, super producer, Timbaland was live streamed with one of our kids for like 2 hours.
Wow.
So one of our producers. So we had seven kids. It was originally 8. And this is the crazy part. It was an anti-violence initiative. As soon as we started as soon as we picked our group, the pandemic had just started.
Really?
And the pandemic hit the inner community in a different way. Like the violence rose, and one of the kids was involved in actual shooting. His brother got killed, and he ended up going to jail.
Wow.
So I was like, we got to start this program now.
Yep.
It was supposed to start in May, but we just ended up starting it early. We just started meeting with them on Zoom, and then we start pulling them into the studio like one by one.
Wow. And much credit to you for starting that initiative here in GR. Every local city needs something like that in the communities. I kind of wanted to divert the conversation a little bit, allude to what I talked about earlier. You and your wife went the untraditional route.
Oh, yeah.
You and your wife didn't, just get married and say we're going to buy a house.
Yeah, we
You
were just
guys
talking about that.
Bought an adult bookstore, renovated it, and turned it into what is known as Muse GR. Can you kind of go into the thought process of what kind of led you guys that route?
All right, so, you meet someone, you get married, and there's this traditional route that you go. You buy a house, and you just live your life. You guys work your jobs. I didn't want to go that route. I was like, let's do an investment property that we can live in and work in. So I bought a live workspace. So I was able to convince her to do that. Was
it hard?
So originally when we met, I wanted like a loft downtown, like nice, loft. That's how I see myself living. So I was able to get her to compromise with me in terms of she first came with the idea of getting a live workspace. So that was check one. And that was cool because, you know, you have your business, which will feed the place that you live, or
Sure.
the place you live will feed your business because you have to live somewhere and pay something.
Right.
So it's like your mortgage can handle it's just a good recipe
Yeah.
for your business not to like we'll be open no matter what.
Yep.
Because I have to pay my rent when I used to
Right.
live there. So that was the first reason. That was the first piece of it. The second piece was we chose the adult bookstore. We went through like a long process of trying to find a building. We had some bidding wars. We lost some. We're like a praying family.
Yep.
So we took this. He was a carpenter. We took him with us to this property that we really wanted. And it was on the west side also. It's actually near Carbon. It's like,
Really?
it's maybe 4 blocks
Okay.
down. And it was nice, but he was like, I think you guys are going to get something on a main street and it can be bigger than this for the same amount. And I was like, no, we're not. but I was like, he's probably right. We ended up losing that. And then we had seen the adult bookstore, but it was so terrible that we were just like, no. But after we lost all of the potential properties, we was like, let's go look at it.
Yep.
We went and looked at it. I was like, it's not that bad. And really, I started to just visualize and see. Like, you always got to use a different lens when you're looking at things and don't see it as it is. And I was like, this could be dope.
Yep.
I was like, upstairs is cool. We could change it up. And then, so, you know how I said I want the loft?
Yep.
I was like, if I throw some big windows in here, it could have the lofty feel. So, yeah, we just went for that. And it was easy because it wasn't on the market. Like, it wasn't advertised for sale, but it was for sale. And the process was a cool process.
Now there's an Airbnb on the top, right?
Yeah.
Just for the viewers who don't know, you can rent out this Airbnb on top of the art gallery.
So I got to pause you right there. It's not an Airbnb. Nah, it is an Airbnb, but we call it an Art B&B.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So
it's a cool concept. We got it to where you can basically you can come in there. It's a nice serene space. It's peaceful and it's creative. It provokes creativity.
Yep.
So we leave canvases in there for you to be able to paint. We got art supplies for drawing, painting. We got guitars, stuff for music, all that.
Okay.
So it's really artistic. It's nice.
Okay.
We call it Muse Art House.
Okay. Now, for the viewers, is there any upcoming events? I know that people can rent out the space.
Yeah.
You know, just for our viewers who may be interested into that, in that.
Yep. So someone ran their car into our building, right?
I seen that article.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it slowed things down, but it allowed us to take a pause and get grounded and make sure that we're headed exactly where we want to go. So we wanted strategic partnerships. So Wayne from Carbon, if you know him.
Yes, I know Wayne.
He had this great idea for this event called Art Mosa. And that's Muse's premier event. So it was originally it was gonna be a Friday event where you come in and you get mimosas and you do I think they were gonna lounge with art, and the idea evolved collaboratively. We created this big art event where you come and you do art. You can view art being done live.
Wow.
It'll be a bunch of artists in the space, but then there's this food element of it was waffles. During our first one, it was waffles and mimosas.
Okay.
And it's super dope. It was maybe 300-400 people who came.
Wow.
And so an event like that, we're gonna be planning.
Perfect.
That's our Muse's premier event, Art Mosa.
Okay.
So we'll be having that. We haven't set the date yet, but in terms of the way our year is going, we're having Grand Rapids Symphony.
Oh, yep.
March 29th. We're partnering with them for a symphony experience. So we're gonna merge some art and music.
Okay.
The public library is gonna take over
Yep.
the space for the weekends during the summer. We're gonna have some super dope events coming in April. That's gonna happen all the time with the company. I'm not gonna put it out there yet.
Okay. It's gonna be a little secret.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of curating outside of the space.
Uh-huh.
So like curate ambiance. We're gonna be curating at Grand Valley's galleries.
Okay.
We're doing some events with the Gram.
Okay.
It's a bunch of things. So
Sure.
it's always Muse is always open for invite only.
Mm-hmm.
I mean not invite only. It's always open for.
I was gonna say it's exclusive a little bit.
It's exclusive.
Yeah.
You can have a like private viewing.
Uh-huh.
So if you want to come in, we can give you a tour.
Okay.
Or if people want to rent it to do something, we're still open for rentals. There's actually during this interview, there's someone's renting the space as we speak.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So, yeah.
So you're making money while you're here.
And we will be doing renovations with someone running through the building. We got some changes that are going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, with the space.
All right, perfect. So Muse, sounds like you got a lot going on with there. I kind of want to put you on the spot a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have you finish my sentence. I'm gonna have Steven finish the sentence. I'm gonna give you 4 questions. I want you to finish this sentence. Okay.
All right.
All right. Number 1. If I only had 24 hours to live, the top 3 things on my bucket list would be.
So 24 hours, do I get to use jets or no?
You can use anything.
Okay.
You can use anything, nothing, everything's fair game.
I do want to go to Israel, and see some historical things that happened there. I would spend time with my family doing. What do we love to do? We're foodies.
Yep.
We'd probably have some dope meals. And then the last thing would be to fund a few dreams that of a bunch of people who got some things that they want to do.
Okay.
To establish legacy and things like that.
I like that answer.
For sure.
All right, next question. The key to happiness and to life, in Steven's opinion, is?
Balance.
Balance, okay.
So balancing family, work life, family balance, balancing expectations of other people so that you can you don't have to feel uncomfortable based on what people expect you to be doing. So balancing your time. I think those are some key things.
Okay. A lot of people may not know, but Steven was actually a basketball player who played in the Philippines, correct?
Yeah, that's true.
I told him I got some research on him.
I didn't play PBL, I didn't play in their major. It was like a team of college players that were all from people who played college basketball.
Where'd you play college at?
At Fisk University.
Fisk University, okay.
Yeah, it was about 75 pounds ago. I just realized I went to college 15 years ago.
Man, that's crazy how fast time flies
ago.
by. That's insane. All right, next question. Since you played basketball, the best basketball player to ever live is?
Jordan. I'm just playing. I don't know if it's that easy.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Michael Jordan, I love the way that he played basketball.
Yep.
Allen Iverson, that's who I felt like
You're getting closer.
I guess made my game after.
I'm looking
Kobe
for one name.
was-
Yeah,
Kobe
that's what I'm looking for.
Kobe was dope, but I put Iverson above Kobe, but I do respect that Kobe had a more complete game than Iverson
That
did.
may be blasphemous on this show. Put Iverson above Kobe.
Iverson,
No rings.
Iverson is my favorite player as
Aight.
far as his style and the way he contributed to the NBA. So I had a similar situation to him in terms of appearance.
Yeah.
Like I wore gold teeth from 8th grade up until college.
Okay.
And my coach didn't like it. It wasn't the way I like wearing hats and baggy clothes and all that. That was popular back then.
Yeah.
He got me in a lot of trouble. So yeah.
You obviously dress a lot different now than.
I mean, I think I still dress the same way because I get certain looks based on how I dress when I walk into the room sometimes. But
maybe your presence is just that heavy when you walk into the room.
maybe.
All right, the last question. If Steven had the power to change anything in the world for good, what would be the first thing that you would change?
Maybe redistribution of wealth. That's it.
Okay.
It's not a deep answer.
Yeah, no, that's a good answer.
But
though.
I could think further and come up with something different. But I'll keep it there.
Okay.
Just because I think that would change a lot of the things we see, like in the communities with violence, the way that people act. It would change based on not if money was given, like, because money doesn't necessarily change things, but like wealth, and then having a wealth mindset. Like if it was a more universal thing,
sure,
you would have a different world.
The knowledge to acquire wealth.
Yeah, and less monopoly, less violence, and we're talking global.
Yep.
So.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, I like those answers. Want to divert to something else too, because a lot of people don't know your art pod entry.
Okay. Yeah.
Now you won an art prize for
that feels weird hearing that. So. Yeah, I guess I did.
Okay. It happened, right?
It's because I look up to Art Prize. You feel me? So. Yeah. Go ahead. My bad.
No, yeah. Art is your thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. Like, what was the concept of Art Pod?
So the Art Pod, it was basically I wanted to make a mini gallery, mini event space to give opportunity to artists to like have a place, have placement. So we're down on Monroe Center. You got basically this place that hundreds of thousands of people are gonna see, and you just get to post up there, interact with people, show your art, sell your art if you want to. So I just wanted to make Muse mobile, and really, since it's a show, I'll give you something that's deeper that people don't know. Perfect. So the first year that we opened, we got like this huge offer of money for our building. So we were gonna relocate because it was like an over $1 million deal. Wow. And so I started to like think about what would I do, what building am I gonna get, and in the meantime, like it was gonna take work to build. Yes. The huge Muse that was gonna exist. Right. It still will exist. But I was like, what can I do that's mobile and small? And I was like, I can put these little art pods in places, and we still would be here. So before Art Prize, the idea was already thought about. So when Art Prize came up, I was like, it's a great opportunity. I'm gonna put this here, and they'll be able to benefit from it. I like stuff that everyone can benefit from. Sure. That's not like, I'm not really a money hungry person. It just comes. Yep. With the good ideas, and I just execute the idea. Now I want to quick, because we're about to wrap up here soon, but I want to touch on something. You said the big Muse is still gonna come. I heard through the grapevine. Now correct me if I'm wrong. I heard through the grapevine that there may be a Muse in the Bay. What's the status on that? Is that That's funny. You got some insight, bro. I gotta take a sip to that. That's so. All right, so we got my family. I didn't realize this till we had Muse for a few years. I was like, oh, I kind of recreated the model that my family has. So we have like this property in San Francisco that's like a big Muse, like it's like a 5-bedroom house up top, and then a bigger space downstairs. And for like the last 20, 30 years, it's been like a hair salon type place. And during the pandemic, our tenants left. So it's been sitting vacant for 2 years. And I've been like trying to help my family, like we're gonna put someone in there, but then they're like, why don't? So first of all, my like family, they don't really know that Muse is like a thing. Like they don't know that. So like, your family in the Bay doesn't know that Muse is a thing up here. Yeah. So like, it's like they're like, oh, I know my son does something with art in Michigan. Yeah. So it's like, why don't you put your little Muse idea here too? I was like, Yeah. And we was gonna really move forward in December, but I'm like, I want to someone. That's when someone ran into our car. Ran our car into the building. I'm like, let me just focus on perfecting what I got here, and just making sure that I'm on track with what I want to do.
Right.
Before I go there. So we have the property already. So what we were gonna do right now was gonna do a gallery hair salon.
Ooh.
And we were gonna partner with people out there, some artists here and stuff like that.
Okay.
But we might wait till the summer. We might wait a few years.
Yeah.
I don't know. But who knows? But you got some insight though. That's dope.
Yeah, man. I do my research. That's part of the job. Before we wrap up, with you being a rapper, I want to hear your top 5 rappers, 5 to 1.
All right. So I'm not.
Or artist. It doesn't have to be rapper. Just
right,
any
that's
artist
better. Okay.
in any music genre.
So I'm gonna go 5 to 1.
Yep.
So before I start my list, I'm gonna do my shout out. Since we're 5 to 1, we go backwards.
Yep.
My favorite rapper from the Bay was the Jacka. And that's it's a gangster rapper.
Okay.
And Mozzie, and Showbanger. That's one of my friends. He's
north,
like,
these people probably don't know these people from the Bay.
But they could look him up.
Right.
You know? So Showbanger, he's the only one Showbanger and Mozzie I kind of listen to, but I don't really listen to rap music.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the, I guess, caveat.
Yep. You're like me. I like a wide range, but I'm gospel over here.
Okay, yeah, I'm there too in a sense. So I'll go my 5.
Yep.
I figured you was gonna ask me this, so I kind of wrote, not kind of, I wrote.
So
it
you
down.
cheated. Honestly.
So I'm gonna go 5. So with rap, I've been trying to find I don't listen to gospel rap because it's kind of
Me neither.
corny in a sense, but some is not. I do gospel rap, so there's this guy named Emmanuel the Prophet, and it's like Detroit style music, and it's dope. I just discovered it 2 weeks ago, so I'm putting him in my 5. My 4 is gonna be Tilden Park.
Okay.
He's from the Bay,
and
he was here for a good couple of years. He did our music program with the kids with us, and that's fire. But his music is crazy good. His music, his visuals that go with it is great. Then I'm gonna go. Am I gonna go Nas or Kanye? I'm gonna just say Nas and Kanye.
So they both gonna be your.
All right. I'll go Nas. And then I'll go Kanye, because I'm more influenced by Kanye. But if we're talking old and new Kanye mix, I put Kanye back up, and then I put Nas first.
Okay.
In front of him. But and my number 1 is gonna be Maverick City Music.
Okay.
All right. That's just what I listen to all the time.
Okay, wide range.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maverick City Music it'll be top for right now.
All right, perfect. Well, that wraps up our show for today. Any last words you want to say to our viewers, to our young people, any inspiration before we wrap up the show? Once again, we thank you for coming on to the Tim Gray Talk Show.
Yeah. If there was something I would say to the viewers, pursue your purpose and passion. I would say to live in a place where your purpose and passion mix. So that's one thing. And then you said to the youth, we do have a media program a media initiative that we're about to do. Is highly funded.
Yep.
So we're about to have videography and photography. I'm a videographer and photographer, but we're gonna partner with a lot of videographers and photographers in the city. Gonna be part of it.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds good. Amen. Thank you once again for being on the show.
Appreciate you.
We'll see you guys next week. I'll let Steve do the final word. So thank you for tuning into the Tim Gray Talk Show today.
Send me your love before I'm gone, because I don't know what's to come. Life's too short, I'm on the run, but